Memory is a powerful force. It can haunt us, inspire us, and compel us to bear witness to the darkest chapters of human history. Tonight, we journey into the heart of one such memory, Elie Wiesel's night. In the spring of 1944, young Elie Wiesel arrived at Auschwitz with his family. As they stood before the gates, none could have imagined the profound transformation that awaited them. For Elie, this moment marked the beginning of a journey that would test not only his will to survive, but the very foundations of his faith. Never shall I forget that night, the first night in camp, which has turned my life into one long night, 7 times cursed and 7 times sealed. Wiesel wrote, as Elie and his father were separated from his mother and sisters, a chilling realization began to dawn. In the distance, flames rose from a chimney, casting an eerie glow over the camp. The air was thick with an unfathomable odor. Never shall I forget that smoke, Elie recalled. Never shall I forget the little faces of the children, whose bodies I saw turned into wreaths of smoke beneath a silent blue sky. In that moment, as the reality of Auschwitz revealed itself, Elie's faith, once a cornerstone of his identity, began to crumble. The God he had prayed to, studied for, and believed in with all his heart seemed to have abandoned him and his people to an unimaginable fate. Never shall I forget those moments which murdered my God and my soul, and turned my dreams to dust. With these words, Wiesel captures the profound loss of faith that would come to define not only his experience, but that of countless others who faced the horrors of the Holocaust. As days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, Elie witnessed horrors that continued to chip away at his humanity. But one event stood out, etching itself into his memory with particular cruelty. The hanging of a young boy. One day when we came back from work, we saw 3 gallows rearing up in the assembly place. 3 black crows. Roll call. SS all around us. Machine guns trained. The traditional ceremony. 3 victims in chains, and one of them, the little servant, the sad-eyed angel. The prisoners were forced to watch as the SS prepared to hang the 3 condemned souls. The 2 adults died instantly, but the boy, too light to die quickly, lingered between life and death. Elie, along with the other prisoners, was made to march past the gallows, forced to look upon the dying child. Behind me, I heard the same man asking, "Where is God now?" And I heard a voice within me answer him, "Where is he? Here he is. He is hanging here on this gallows." In this moment, Elie's transformation was complete. The boy who had once studied Talmud with fervor now stood hollow, a witness to unimaginable cruelty. His identity, once rooted in faith and community, had been stripped away, leaving only the instinct to survive. As the war neared its end, the prisoners of the camp found themselves caught between hope and despair. One night, during an Allied air raid, Elie witnessed a scene that would haunt him for years to come. A stark illustration of how silence and inaction can perpetuate cruelty. In the chaos of the raid, a man broke from the crowd, crawling towards an unattended cauldron of soup. Driven by desperate hunger, he risked everything for a single mouthful. But before he could reach his goal, gunshots rang out. Elie, like the others, watched in silent horror. He later reflected, "We were all forbidden to move, but our eyes had seen. Someone had dared to satisfy his thirst, and we were still thirsty for justice." This moment encapsulated a brutal truth. In the face of such overwhelming cruelty, silence, whether from fear, self-preservation, or numbed indifference, becomes a form of complicity. It was a lesson Elie Wiesel would carry with him for the rest of his life, driving him to speak out against injustice wherever he found it.